Your eyes slowly open and you're blinded by the light for a moment until your eyes adjust. You look around and see what looks like an unfamiliar apartment. You put your hand on your head as you experience a light headache. What is going on? You ask yourself as you stand up and see a young girl with pink hair and what looks like anime Catgirl ears turn around with a smile on her face.
You're finally awake. I'm your cute Catgirl girlfriend, Eddie.
She says. But the funny thing is you don't recognize her at all, and you don't even remember having a girlfriend, which kind of hurts for a little bit when you think about it. And what's with that cosplay? You spot the exit with a dry erase board that says exit. You approach the door and attempt to give the knob a turn. It doesn't budge. It's locked. It's then that you realize you need a key to open the door, which is kind of strange, because shouldn't that be on the outside? You turn around and see an enraged Catgirl glaring at you, her arms behind her back clutching something, but you can't tell what.
Do you really think you can escape from me?
She warns you as her brown eyes begin to turn red with anger. For those familiar with the game, the beginning is a lot like the opening story. You wake up in Eddie's apartment and you find you're trapped and need to escape. But that's only part of the story. Why are you here? How did you get here? Who is Eddie? And why does she want to keep you here? What secrets are hidden in this apartment and what could they mean? Today, we dive into these questions by looking at the evidence in the level. Now let's take a look at the crime scene. You are presumably abducted, taken to a Catgirl's apartment. It consists of a living room, a kitchen, a master bedroom with an attached bathroom and a closet area, an additional bathroom, one of 3 randomly selected hobby rooms or a bedroom, and a secret hidden room. How it all begins. The opening sequence shows us the living room, and oftentimes Eddie will mention how you're finally awake, and naturally that leads to questions. Why were we asleep, and how did we get here? Unfortunately, our only witness is also our suspect. It might be better to look for clues on our own. If you try to leave through the door or ask her why you can't leave, she'll likely mention that she's protecting you from some sort of danger, but is very vague about the details. However, pulling back the curtains on the situation in the living room reveals the nature of the danger, or at least part of it. We still have this crazy cosplaying captor to worry about after all. One wrong move, and she'll be using you as a practice dummy for her knife combat practice. But look at that technique. It's impressive. Now here's where keen observation is your friend. Did you notice anything strange when you looked outside? Besides the fire, there's no people or vehicles in this city. It seems a bit fishy, and if you make it outside of the room, you'll notice there's no people in the halls or even the reception area. On the bright side, the traffic in this city would be a solid 10 out of 10. There's always a silver lining. More importantly, why does Eddie think that she's protecting us when every building in the city seems to be on fire? Wouldn't this building be on fire too? Why isn't it? And why are we safer staying in a burning city? Since Eddie claims that she's trying to keep us safe, or rather maybe keep us in here, what measures does she have in place? Not only does Eddie keep tabs on you constantly,
Are you okay?
but the door
Why
has a
aren't you
lock
talking
installed
to
on
me?
it that requires a key
I just want to share
on
my
the
secrets with you.
inside. I really doubt this is how the door was originally, so Eddie must have installed the lock on the door herself. I'm not sure if the landlord would appreciate that much. We also see boards and bricks blocking out windows. What's more, we see a security pad at the end of the hall that leads to a secret room. I doubt that was there when Eddie moved in, so I wonder if somehow she built this room. And if she did, where did the extra space for the room come from? How did nobody hear the construction or care about it? Step inside the secret room and we see some interesting things here, like security cameras set up all over the apartment. We also see wigs, ropes, medical equipment, including syringes, and of course, eyeballs. The eyeballs seem kind of fitting since we can randomly find brains in a jar as well as hearts in a jar around the apartment. This is one freaky place. You also have tentacles because anime? I doubt anybody has been in this apartment besides Eddie and maybe her potential victims, because even the kitchen faucet doesn't work. Nobody was calling the maintenance man. But with Eddie being this handy, I don't know why she couldn't have fixed this herself. It's not an issue with the water since the water runs in the bathrooms just fine. Speaking of water faucets in the bathroom, it seems Eddie left herself a way to remember the code for the secret room. Leave the hot water on and it allows the mirror to fog up, exposing the code written on the mirror. That's kinda clever if you think about it. Further inspection of the bathroom reveals that there are 2 toothbrushes in the master bedroom's bathroom, and there's 1 in the extra bathroom in the hall. So the question is, who are they for? I could see 1 being for Eddie, 1 for us, but who's the 3rd person? Was there someone else here before us? We can also guess at something else here. What if we were already in the apartment before we got knocked out? Maybe we were trying to escape and she drugged us. This could explain why we wouldn't know anything. It would also eliminate the need for Eddie to drag or pick us up and carry us into the apartment, and could explain why we woke up on the couch or the floor in the living room. This could also explain why the key was hidden. Maybe we found it, she knocked us out, and hid it somewhere else in the apartment. Either way, hiding it's probably not a bad idea. What if we overpowered her and took it from her? Regardless the reason, it's one thing that keeps us securely locked in her apartment. Or should I say trapped. Now of course, Eddie doesn't want us to reach anybody on the outside or really know what's going on, so she doesn't want us to use our computer, which is password protected. But get enough trust with her or make her slip up and you can get the password for the computer. But once you get into it, you have access to the desktop. The desktop is kind of cool because you can go in here and actually interact with it like a normal computer. The computer has a settings section where you can go and set things like the background or change how the date and time are displayed or even change the account profile picture. There's also an About section that has real links to Alter staff's social media accounts. That's pretty neat. We have a notepad app where Eddie not only has the Wi-Fi password written down, but also a to-do list. Oddly enough, on her list are things like need extra strong laundry detergent and seal all windows. Of course, we have a web browser that has links to a website where she buys stuff, some news, and also a link to MeTube where we can see some videos that she was likely watching. It appears she was interested in the apocalypse, cats, and canned food. Now, like any good computer, there is a calculator app, but most importantly, there is a mail app as well. Here we see 2 emails from the Bureau of the Apocalypse, one telling people to stay calm and to prepare supplies, another one saying that the apocalypse has been canceled because it wasn't as big of a threat as they originally thought. You also have an advertisement for Dance 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 Studios, offering 50% off, and advertising that their studio is meteor-proof. You also have Dr. Doe, trying to set up a follow-up appointment with Eddie. Apparently it's been a while since she's been to the clinic, and the doctor wants to schedule up a follow-up appointment, and also wants to remind her that her prescription is important for her health. Unfortunately, we don't know what kind of condition she has, but if I had to guess, it's some kind of mental condition, and the pills are supposed to help with that. But there's no way to know for sure. It would explain her behavior, though. Now, besides just an inbox, there's a sent and a junk and spam folder. If you look at the sent folder, Eddie's reaching out to somebody about getting some butterfly specimens, as well as some cyanide, which is obviously used as a poison, and some clonide, which is apparently used for things like high blood pressure, ADHD, and various other conditions. PTSD, Tourette's, insomnia, and even things like restless leg syndrome. Eddie also states in this email that she received some kind of strange figurine last time that she didn't order. Now, I don't know if this is referring to the parrot statue or the demon figurine, but I know if you inspect the demon figurine, it mentions something about it making a humming sound. That's kind of strange. And I have to wonder if the parrot statue or this demon figurine had some kind of effect on her mental health. Lastly, there's an email in the spam folder, and if you look at it, it just says run, and it's from an unknown sender. But if you look, there's an attachment, and when you look at the attachment, it shows a location in the building and a key, and that key is your exit out of here. Now let's talk about the demon figurine. If you remember Eddie's emails, she mentioned she received a strange figurine that she didn't order. I think this is it. Now, if you looked at it before, you may not have thought much of it,
Oh,
and if you
wow.
gift it to her,
Ice.
she seems to like it
Is
enough.
this for me? A demon figurine? It's so unique. Thank you so much. I love it. You're the best.
I don't know what the purpose of this thing is, but I wonder if it has some kind of effect on Eddie. Speaking of things that have an effect on Eddie,
Oh wow, Ice. Is that a blue parrot statue? It's so beautiful. I don't know why, but it makes me feel something special. Thank you for showing it to me. Oh my gosh, Ice. Is this blue parrot statue a gift for me? It's so lovely. Thank you so much. I really cherish it. You always know how to make me happy.
Eddie really likes that blue parrot statue. I don't know why, and she doesn't seem to know why either. And for some reason, that thing was broken into 3 pieces and spread out around the apartment. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed that there's some evidence that Eddie may have been ending some people in the apartment. I hate to word it like that, but YouTube sucks. Here's where the plot really thickens. You noticed the extra toothbrushes from earlier, but did you take a close look at that secret room? There's a diagram that has several people that are apparently connected to you, and some of them have X's over their heads. And there's a missing persons report and a bloody handprint. Sure, this isn't proof in itself, but it definitely doesn't look very good. There's also tools like syringes, forceps, and various other things that may have been used to torture the victims or to drug them. My guess is somehow Eddie probably lures people to her apartment and drugs them and then takes them back into the secret room. And if anything happens outside, she can see because she's got her cameras set up and can see everything in the apartment. More evidence that she's probably been torturing and murdering these victims come in the form of blood-stained clothes. Which, by the way, if you paid attention to her default outfit, you can definitely see some blood stains on it. Here's what we can also refer back to the computer for further supporting evidence of this. Remember, Eddie wrote herself a note saying that she needed to buy some extra strength detergent, but she was also ordering things like cyanide. And of course, the washing machine is full of clothes. Probably clothes that are covered in blood that she's trying to wash the blood out of, which hasn't been successful so far because it's on the hoodie she's currently wearing. Now, I don't know if these are props or what, but we have eyeballs in the secret room, and you can find random hearts and brains in jars in the apartment. That seems kinda crazy. This isn't just a potential murder scene, this is a slaughterhouse, or apartment. Now that we looked at everything else, let's take a look at Eddie herself. Again, she's got blood-stained hoodie, which indicates that she was doing something that involved blood. We know she's not really a Catgirl because she has human ears. And even though the ears move on their own, there are actually cat ears that you can get that will apparently move based on your emotions and brainwaves. We also know her hair probably isn't naturally pink. Again, the fact that there is a wig missing from one of the mannequins in the secret room indicates to me she's probably wearing the wig. If you look close enough at her, maybe this was too close, you can also see that she has some brown hair underneath, which actually matches the picture we see on her computer of her graduation. She seems to be obsessed with cats, and maybe that's why she decided to take on this Catgirl persona. We also know she has several hobbies. Things like do-it-yourself security systems, knowledge on medicines and poisons, torturing people, and ending people. She also enjoys tending to her indoor garden, singing and playing music, dancing, and painting. So let's wrap this whole thing up finally. Now that we looked at the lore, what does it all mean? We can probably reasonably put together that somehow Eddie got us to the apartment, whether we were already there or she drugged us, but she likely drugged us at some point and we passed out in the living room. She brought us here because she is a yandere, and for some reason she felt the need to capture us and protect us from the apocalypse. She likely planned to, or did, end several people around you to get to you. We have indications that she might be keeping organs from some of her victims. We know she modified her apartment to prevent anyone from escaping and also to allow her to easily monitor it. We also know she has some kind of medical condition, whether it's something tame like high blood pressure or something more serious like a psychological condition. We also know she's prone to blind fits of rage where she becomes violent. She also seems to be a jack of all trades between what she's done to modify her apartment and all the hobbies she's involved in. But perhaps most importantly,
I'm your cute Catgirl girlfriend, Eddie. And I will be with you till the end. Thank you everyone for watching the video deep dive into the secrets and lore in my apartment. If you liked this video, please make sure to like it or leave a comment. If you want to see more content like this, follow us on whatever platform you are watching from. I hope to see you again next time.